All right, welcome back to the Free Life Agents podcast, guys. And today I have a really exceptional individual. I know we're kind of keeping up with the theme for the past couple of weeks with a lot of guests from around the world outside of the United States. So I thought I want to bring in somebody who's doing exceptionally well in one of the hottest markets, real estate markets in the world right now in the Philippines. And she actually runs one of the top YouTube channels for real estate and real estate brokers in the Philippines, and has now, I believe, 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is not an easy task to accomplish at all. But without further ado, I just want to introduce my guest today, Mian. Welcome to the show, Mian.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me here, Kobe.
Yeah, no problem. And really glad we were able to get connected. I found you on YouTube, which is you're doing really well on there, like we said, and we're going to be talking a little bit more in detail about how you were able to do that, and how that's able to been how that has helped you as well. But just wanted to first off started this conversation is for people who don't know who you are, who might not have run across your YouTube channel online. Can you just kind of tell us a little bit more about you and your background and how you kind of got into real estate and being in the industry?
Okay, so before I started a career in real estate, I used to work for an international corporation. And then my dad told me to try getting a real estate broker's license because it was the last time that those who don't have a degree in real estate management will be allowed to take the board examination. So I took the 120 unit comprehensive real estate seminar. Then, thankfully, I passed the board examination on my first try. However, after obtaining my real estate license, I didn't practice the profession right away. There was no one to guide me because even though my dad was in the business of real estate, he what he was doing was different from doing brokerage. What I just pursued first was travel blogging and then doing digital marketing via Upwork. When I found the income stream to be unsustainable for what I love to do, because traveling is somewhat expensive, that was when I decided to finally enter the real estate industry. I applied for work under a real estate developer to have some experience, and then I found that I enjoyed working as a real estate agent. Eventually, I left that company and then worked on my own. And because I'm enjoying my career so much, I aspired to be a licensed real estate consultant. And then I took the step to become one by getting a Bachelor of Science degree in real estate management, which I'm studying now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it sounds like you had a family background in real estate, which always helps. But you mentioned something there that you're going through school and you're juggling real estate and you're running your own YouTube channel, which is it's a lot on your plate right now. So I mean, if you don't mind, kind of walk us through how you're kind of juggling all of that at the same time, and maybe walk through what you're going through school for and how that kind of affects you in real estate as well.
Yeah. So for my schooling, it's, as I mentioned, it's a Bachelor of Science degree in real estate management. So what we basically study there are courses or subjects that will help us with real estate brokerage. We also have like real estate finance. So we could help real estate investors, calculate their investments or like compare their investments, which ones are more better for them. And I think I am able to juggle the work and schooling because I try to set achievable goals each day and I try to accomplish work when I'm most productive. So there are times when I'm not in the mood to video edit. So I try not to do that first. I try to do different stuff first and then I do that. And then that's the same also with studying. So I also schedule when I'm going to stop doing those activities like studying or checking emails. I think that's really important, especially for us real estate agents who might be tempted, to check messages and emails every few minutes for inquiries and whatnot. But I believe for me that leads to burnout and that might leave us with less energy to do what matters the most. So time management then for me is important for not only enabling us to work efficiently, but it also helps us reduce our stress, which leads to better work performance.
Hey, and I think that's something that you talk a lot about on your channel as well, is kind of raising the standard for real estate agents in the Philippines. I mean, is that, and you kind of go into more of like how you started your YouTube channel and how's that been going so far? Because I think it's super interesting. But is that why you kind of started to, using, leveraging YouTube marketing, and has built up, quite a substantial following, right? If I might say.
Okay, so my inspiration for using video marketing on YouTube is actually to create awareness of who the legal real estate service practitioners are in the Philippines, and to create informative content for those who are interested in real estate. Because here in the Philippines, some people would say they are real estate agents, but they aren't aware that they have to register with a body here in the Philippines, the Professional Regulation Commission, if they want to become a real estate salesperson. And then if they want to become a real estate broker, they don't know that they have to get a degree in real estate management and then take the board examination. So there's a lot of people who are not yet aware of that. So if they have a friend who asked them to sell their property for them, they would just say, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent for my friend." So that's it. But they aren't aware about the systems in place, which, help protect the public, because these people who have been tapped by their friends, they might work like a fly by night. They might be real estate agents today, but tomorrow they might not be, because they might not find the income to be lucrative. So what would happen to these clients, their clients, right? They won't be serviced well. So I create video. So sorry, I believe creating, such kinds of videos helps prevent first-time buyers from being scammed, as well as, help new real estate agents as well serve their clients better, because like I mentioned beforehand, there was no one to guide me. So I'm like their big sister on YouTube, helping those new real estate agents to, tread the real estate industry better.
That's awesome. So have you actually ran into anybody like that who's reached out to you?
Yes, I have a lot. There's a lot of people who have been reaching out to me, and then there are actually, younger individuals. They're like senior high school students. They've been applying to become interns, or like they want me to mentor them, but then I'm telling them, I don't have the luxury of time to mentor each individual. So that's why I'm doing this YouTube, so I can, reach more people with less amount of time. And then I just told them, if you have questions, you have clarifications, then I'm just here. You can email me and then I would answer it. So that's what happened. Some of them, they would email me and then I would, respond to them via email.
Wow, that's really generous of you to do that, and really raising the standard, I think, for real estate in the Philippines, and
I
maybe kind
hope
of,
so.
yeah, that's the goal of doing the channel, right? And it's really
Yes,
grown.
yes,
It's really
yes.
grown. So I mean, how long have you been doing YouTube? I don't think
I've been doing for it for almost 2 years. For me,
almost.
I think it's almost 2 years. I created the channel around the last quarter, or like last month of 2019. But when I did it, I would do it and then I would become busy with work. So I wasn't that consistent. Unlike these days, I, upload more frequently.
Wow. So that's, you said almost 2 years. So and it's in the what, five figures, right? Or of subscribers, 20,000 now. So
Yes.
that's, how have you kind of grown that? I know, with YouTube, probably, you probably use a lot of SEO strategies. I mean, is that just something that you've always been good at that, with digital marketing background, or is it something you kind of picked up later on as you grew the channel?
Yes, I have digital marketing background. So I studied for a bit at the Digital Marketing Institute. It's just online, but then once you pass their exam, you become a certified digital marketer. And then I use those skills. So I use my skills in SEO marketing through video by doing, YouTube keyword research. That's very important. And I also check existing content for it. So if there are people looking for a topic and then there are only a few videos about it, I create videos about that topic. And then I would make sure the video content that I release are very informative and really relevant to the keywords that I put. So I ensure that I optimize my videos for SEO. I also put keywords that are relevant to the video and are often used by people when they search for that particular content. So basically, I make evergreen videos. I make sure I make evergreen videos. So if, for instance, right now I have a video about taxation for real estate agents. So last year I did that. There were only few views, like only 1,000, and then I was surprised because tax season is near. Like the deadline for tax season is next Monday. Yes, next Monday. Then I was surprised the views grew to 4,000 because there's a lot of people who have been looking for that kind of content and there was no one who did that content. So yeah, that's how I basically grew it. And then I would be surprised they would, find me in one of my videos and then they would subscribe and then they would watch the rest of my videos. That's how it works. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people will do with these kind of like digital assets that you have or social media followings, right? They'll find they'll find something that they like and they see, and then they'll see that you're providing helpful information, and then they'll go back in your channel and they'll look at what else you've got, right? And they're like, you've given me this amount of value, what else can you offer, right? And you being an avid on YouTube, very very consistent, obviously can actually build that trust very quickly when somebody goes through your channel. So I mean, so that channel, is it really now mainly for gears towards real estate brokers and agents in the Philippines, or are you also using that channel to kind of pick up some clients and generate clients as well, or a mixture of both?
Before I use it to generate clients, but then I stopped because I have a different focus. I really want to focus more on the educational content
Yeah.
because I have this goal of raising awareness. So right now I just want to help lift the real estate industry standard. So that's what I have been doing. And because of that, sometimes I get invited to talk to conferences and talk to um, people working in the companies. Like they would invite me to talk about real estate investments and stuff. So yeah, I think that's nice. And right now you're inviting me as well here in your
Right.
podcast. So I think I'm doing something nice.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I like to feature people like, especially like exactly like that, like yourself, who are, not necessarily just really good at doing what they do with real estate. And maybe we can kind of get into that a little bit next of, your experience as an agent, but people who want to influence their community, people who want to, help other real estate agents, raise more awareness like you're doing with your channel as well. And, kind of raise the standard of the entire industry as a whole. So I really, appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, right? Speaking at conferences and channels, and taking the time out of your day to come on my little podcast here. But
No,
no.
it's not
So
little. It's actually good. You're doing also well. Like,
thank
thank
you.
you for also, helping us with your
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, no problem. And I just wanted to ask, I mean, for I know you might not have like a specific number or metric in mind, but in terms of you helping raise awareness and helping real estate agents, around the Philippines and even around the world now, do you kind of have a goal in mind for that, like in the future, or like is there a specific number of agents that you want to help impact, or specific number you want to reach, or not really?
It's actually difficult to measure the metrics because we don't know how many of those viewers are actually real estate agents, how many of those are you just plain curious about the real estate industry. So I don't have a specific number, but in for the past 2 years I've spoken to a lot of people. Some would even call me, and I think for me that's enough. I mean, I find fulfillment in that.
Yeah, and I think you're helping a lot of people by doing what you're doing, because there's people who might not reach out, but they're getting the value from your videos as well. So
Yes.
I think it's really impactful, what you're doing, and on behalf of agents, thank you for doing that. So, uh, But yeah, no. So kind of going back onto, you being an agent and how that has kind of helped you raise the bar. Obviously you're one of the younger agents in the Philippines, I would assume, right? Right,
Yeah.
right. So I mean, you're going through school and everything. So have you kind of like used that your experience as a real estate agent and what you've done to kind of separate yourself from the industry standard, like you said, where it's not as regulated in the Philippines as it might be in the States or in another country. But like, what have you kind of done to separate yourself, and how have you kind of used that experience to, help the next generation of agents coming up through your channel as well?
Yeah. So my experience as a younger real estate agent in the Philippines is that I didn't have a network of clients, unlike, the older real estate agents who are more established. They have this established network of clients, but I didn't have that. So I used my energy to inform my network that I'm already a licensed real estate broker and I could help them. So I would message each one. And then
Yeah.
after that, I would also, help. I created also my YouTube channel because there are a lot of people who have the same questions as repeated questions. So I would just make a video and then send them the link, because sometimes they're not really clients, but they're just friends who are asking for my opinion. Like, they're treating me as a consultant when I'm not yet a consultant. So I would just, send them my video links. And then for me, once I have my clients, I just give my best in servicing my clients, and that leads to referral. So sometimes I don't, get clients from YouTube, but sometimes I just get clients from referrals. And I think that's how, you really grow your business as a real estate agent. It's through referrals. And for me, I won't be able to service my clients if I'm not knowledgeable on how the process works, and I'm not knowledgeable enough to address the questions of my clients. So, I use my youth to my advantage by learning as much as I can. Whenever I earn, I use it to attend seminars and classes. And then, some of my earnings, it also went to my degree right now. So I enrolled again. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's impressive that you're going back through school when people will just, and one of the things we say is that when people graduate from college, they immediately stop learning, right? They
Yeah.
have that block in their mind where, if graduated, most people just, that's when they stop learning and stop taking in information. But you being in business, being an entrepreneur, that clearly is not the case, right? You have
Yes,
to.
because when the more you learn, the more you earn. Right?
Right. The more you learn, the more you earn. Exactly. And then what you're doing as well is you're returning it. So you're teaching other people how to do it. So that's
Mhm.
one of the things that I think people will think what creates success, but what you're doing is, like you said, you mentioned this word earlier, is fulfillment. Where you're getting the success from what you're doing by yourself, but you're getting fulfillment by being, I'll say, like industry leader. Like, I don't know if you consider yourself industry leader or not, but I think
Not yet.
not yet. No, I
Maybe
mean,
10 years from now.
10 years from
five,
now.
5 to 10 years. Because here they see you as an industry leader the older you get. So right now I'm still
Wow.
fairly young. So I'm still not noticed by the older real estate agents or real estate brokers.
Really? Even like,
Yeah.
is that like a trend? Because I know they. Well, well, I wouldn't know this, but like, I'm sure there's been older or people who have more
Yes,
experience in the
there are.
business
Yes.
who've seen your channel and seen what you've done, for the
Yeah,
industry.
sometimes when they see it, they commend me, they comment, and then they're gone. Because, digital marketing is not yet their thing. Like, they don't do
Right.
it because, I don't know, they don't want to adapt to technology sometimes. Or like they have difficulty in adapting because they already have a lot of clients to begin with. They have like a constant business, like every day they could close the deal. So why would they
Wow.
bother with digital marketing, right? If you're too
Um,
busy or preoccupied with that. So if you will notice in the Philippines, all the YouTube channels who have like a high growth in YouTube channels, they're all younger, like they're the same age as me or even younger.
Yeah, I mean, it's a adaptation of the I think it's an adaptation of the marketplace where you're coming in, and the people you're serving are actually on these platforms, so they're able
Yes.
to see you. And you say 5 to 10 years, I probably would assume maybe even less than that, right? Where because it's just how the market changes, right? Like with
Mhm.
COVID, you saw, it's harder to work. About 2 years ago, it's harder to work, in person essentially. So what you did through your online marketing was, did that clearly give you an advantage? Right? Or am I off on that?
Yes, yes. It gave me an advantage because I was able to market as well to people in different countries. But they're mostly Filipinos as well. They would contact me. There would also be foreigners, but sometimes they are interested in purchasing lands. But here in the Philippines, foreigners are not allowed to purchase lands. It's only reserved for Filipinos, so they could only purchase condominium units. So yes, I was able to market with those kinds of people.
Right. And I mean, you can tell me this because, and I wouldn't know this, but you can tell us this. But for those agents with more experience, are they getting, the amount of foreign clients, or, out of country clients as you are?
I think they are getting it, but through referrals as well. So because they already have an existing pool of foreign clients, which they've gotten from their previous jobs, or because before the real estate agents here would be giving out flyers, and then there would be a lot of expats in the malls, so they would be giving out flyers, and then they were able to get this pool of foreign clients, and then these foreign clients, they would be referring to that. But then for me, I'm marketing on a different segment. Like I'm marketing those who aren't really expats. They're, located in another country, and then they just want to invest here in the Philippines because they've heard about it.
Yeah. And that's opened up a lot of opportunities for you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, I think you're being too humble, and you're being too low on yourself when you say that you're not a market leader yet. Because, biggest real estate YouTube channel in the entire country, I would say,
No, not
no,
yet.
not the biggest
No,
channel
I'm
yet.
not the biggest because those who have like big YouTube channels, they mostly do house tours. So there are also YouTube channels. It just so happens that for me, I focus more on educational and informative content. So it really takes time to grow that kind of channel.
Yeah, and we're gonna help you do that, right? So I mean, you can plug your channel right now. So for those who are looking to check out your channel, how can they find it?
Yeah, you can find it on Own Property PH on YouTube. You can type Own Property PH and you can check it out. Even if you don't speak Filipino language, I have videos there that are purely in English, or I also have videos there which are in Filipino, but they have subtitles, so you can still understand it. And then you can, adjust the settings of the video to a slower, to be for it to be slower, and then you can read what's written.
Right. Yeah. You guys should definitely go check out her channel. It's, there's a lot of great content on there, especially if you're learning to, want to learn a little bit more about real estate in the Philippines. And we'll put the link in the description below so that make sure everybody can access it easily. But yeah, just kind of moving on to the next thing, and going back a little bit as well. You said that before you got into real estate, you were a travel blogger. I think that's one of
Yes.
the coolest jobs ever, just my opinion. So I mean, so you traveling to a lot of different places, probably multiple different countries. You've probably been on every continent. Is
No,
is it
not yet.
not every continent, but traveling to a lot of places, right? That probably gave you a little bit of perspective, right? Or has that kind of
Yes.
helped you at all?
Yes, definitely. It has helped me become a better real estate agent by widening my perspective because I get to see how the structures are built and positioned. I could compare the developments and trends of the places I've traveled to where I work. And it helps me justify the pricing as well here in the marketplace that I've been working on. Traveling also allows me to be in contact with people from different variety of backgrounds and cultures. So it helps me understand and communicate better with mostly anyone.
Really, yeah. So I think communication is it's a big one. So you think traveling has really helped you with
Yes, it
communication?
really has helped me with communication. And I think it has helped me as well to become more resilient. So even if there are, difficult challenges, I would recall that I have this challenge in another country that's more difficult for me. And then, this current challenge that I have right now make seems a lot easier now compared to the challenge I've experienced in the past. So yeah, I think it has helped me become more resilient as well.
Yeah, and that's really interesting that you mentioned that because that's one of the things people who travel a lot will say is that they get more perspectives, and then it puts their own life into perspective as well in terms of the challenges that they face, and it doesn't seem as bad anymore, right? And I think that's
Yes.
kind of the point that you're trying to make there. But yeah, I mean, just out of all the places that you traveled, I know we've kind of talked a little bit about this, but like, what is your favorite place that you've ever been to?
My favorite country will always be Japan.
Yeah,
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 because they have so much culture and everyone is just so respectful there. And it's so easy to get around because they have all these trains, interconnected trains. So even if the place is too far, you can easily get there by train. It's
right.
like
And
a
that's
transport oriented development.
yeah, it is. And I've never been well, I have been physically there, but I've never really visited. I was actually born in Japan for those that don't know, but only spent about the first 3 months of my life there. But yeah, no, that's really interesting. And for you working with a lot of foreign clients, right? So has that helped? Has you being in kind of in their shoes, almost getting into these different areas and visiting different countries, has that kind of helped you with working with different foreign clients? Because I'm sure there's going to be coming from all kinds of different cultures, right?
Yes, yes. Like I mentioned earlier, it helps me understand and communicate better. And at the same time, it also helps me relate to them better because I have stories to share that I've been to their country or
Mhm.
we could connect because I'm also aware about their dishes or about the certain location so we could talk more and it helps me to relate to them better. Like I could create rapport basically.
Right, and is that something that you kind of teach as well in your channel, is how to create rapport? Or is that something that's kind of lacking for the industry right now?
I think I was able to mention it in one of my videos. Yeah.
Just one of
That it's
them.
important. Yeah, one because I have a lot of videos, so I tackle different content. So yeah, I was able to mention that it's important to create rapport with clients.
Yeah, and I think it is important as well, and I think you're doing a great job of it with having different perspectives and around the world as well. So that's awesome, and I really kind of want to dig into back again as to what's kind of inspired you to go into raising the standard of the industry, because there's a lot of people who are
Mm.
just very happy with you know doing well for themselves, and being honest in the process, but being doing well for themselves, but you're actually going the extra step now where you're helping raise the bar for the entire industry, and really kind of want to go into why you're wanting to do that, and what's the thought process behind that.
Okay, so raising the standard of the real estate and industry, especially in the Philippines, is important for me because it would encourage buyers, sellers, lessors, and lessees to only deal with legal real estate service practitioners. It would also encourage the new generation of real estate agents to help in the implementation of existing laws and push for more regulations that will make our industry better. So yeah, I help raise that standard through the videos I publish on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah, you do, and I think that's very effective, right? Like you said, there's already been people who have reached out to you, and getting a lot of these, has that kind of pushed you and made you kind of move past? Because I'm sure doing all these videos and kind of get into how you do them or how you edit them, but it takes a
Yes.
lot of time, right? So does that kind
Yes.
of getting the positive feedback, does that help you continue on in your journey?
Yes, it definitely motivates me and it encourages me, especially when there are people who have been commenting and they would say that, because of my channel, it encouraged them to become a legal real estate service practitioner. For me, that's a big thing. So for me, I find more fulfillment in that rather than, closing the sales. Because, when you
Wow.
close the sale, that's it. But then, there's not that much fulfillment unless it's like a really big brokerage transaction. But sometimes a big brokerage transaction isn't worth the stress, because sometimes there are people who aren't legal. They would ask for, referral fees, and then it makes the transaction more complicated. That's why it's important for me to, raise this awareness or raise the standards and help regulate more these people, so it would be easier for everyone to have a smoother transaction here in the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah, and that's awesome that you're doing that, and from helping other real estate practitioners, you're actually, in my opinion, and I think you probably think this as well, is that you're able to essentially impact more people, right? Versus you just yourself
Yes.
being, the perfect real estate agent. You can only help so many people with your time, but now that you're actually going in there, creating this influence and education, and getting more real estate agents to raise the bar, raise the standards as a whole, each one of them can help just as many clients that you have. And through through osmosis, essentially, you're able to help more people. And I think that's awesome that you're able to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank
yeah, no,
you.
yeah, no problem. I mean, there's, I like to, let's say, I like to get some really exceptional people, on the podcast. And, most of the time they don't think so themselves, but, I feel like, you guys are just being way too hard on your, way too hard on yourselves. But, yeah, I mean, you're currently doing a lot in real estate right now. You've got, I say you got like three full-time jobs, right? Going to school, being an agent yourself, and then running a YouTube channel consistently, which is probably. And so, out of the three, first of all, which one do you think is the most time consuming, is the hardest one?
For me, the most time consuming is, of course, video editing, like, doing my YouTube
Yeah.
channel. And then people are saying that I should hire a video editor, but it's not that easy, because it's difficult if you rely with a video editor and then eventually they would be tired of it, and then they would leave you. And then what does that leave you with, right? So it's difficult to become too reliant with a video editor. Maybe sometime in the future, if my channel has really grown, I would, hire a team,
Hmm.
a production team. But right
Wow.
now, it's not that, financially sustainable yet, because I've been spending a lot on, my studies, and
Hmm.
I'm spending a lot on different stuff as well.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off of that, so looking into the future, what is your main focus? As you kind of look into the future, and like what's going to be like the next step for you? Because you're like I said, you're doing a
Mm-mm.
lot, but it sounds like you want to focus a lot more on the channel and helping real estate agents in your country. So is that what you're going to be focusing on, or do you have a even bigger vision as well?
Yes, definitely. I would still continue to focus on my YouTube channel. So, and the next for me is, of course, I want to graduate on time on my degree. And then I try to catch the board examination for real estate appraisers. And then once I become a licensed real estate appraiser, I want to create content as well for real estate appraisers. Because if you'll notice in the YouTube, there are no licensed real estate appraisers who are creating content for real estate appraisers.
Mhm.
And then eventually, after 5 years, when I pass the board examination as a consultant, then I'll create content for licensed real estate consultants. So basically, I want to create content for the real estate service practitioners here.
Wow. Yeah. So you're looking to impact the entire industry, right? So even if
I hope so.
right. I mean, that sounds like, just kind of like, do you have anything specific, right? With like going forward toward your goal, right? You want to start, essentially impacting two more sub industries within real estate in the Philippines. Is there anything specific you're looking to accomplish with, your channel or, the impact that you're making?
Yeah, I just want that silver play button.
Yeah.
I feel like it would validate my hard work. So yeah, I just want that silver play button, and then I'll see it from there. But my main goal at the end of it all is I want to become a licensed real estate consultant. It's the highest profession here in the Philippines.
Mhm.
So in order for you to become a licensed real estate consultant, you need to become at least 10 years in the real estate industry as a real estate broker. So you
Mhm.
need to be practicing your profession for 10 years as a real estate broker, or you need to practice the profession for 5 years as a real estate appraiser. And then I still have 5 years to go.
Right.
And I'm already 5 years. I've been in the real estate industry for 5 years as a real
Mhm.
estate broker. So I still have 5 years. Then I'll take
Yeah.
the real estate appraiser's board exam. That's 5 years as well. So it's really 5 years for me before I become a licensed real estate consultant. Hopefully, I become one.
Yeah, and good luck with that. I think 5 years is going to blow by really quickly, especially with the amount of work that you're putting in. And just really quickly, I mean, just so I can understand better. So you're wanting to become a licensed real estate consultant.
Yes.
So aside from it being the highest profession in the industry, is there any like other particular reason you're wanting to do that? Is there something that you wanting to do with that particular license, or do you
Yes,
just want to?
because there's a lot of people who have been consulting with me. They have been taking up my time. So I want to
Okay.
be compensated as well for the time that they're taking, because they would call me, contact me about, all this stuff. And then I also want to be able to create project feasibility studies for real estate developers who would approach me, because I have met some pocket developers and they don't know what to do with their plot of land. So I want to be able to make project feasibility studies for them.
Yeah. And I think, any developers out there listening, 5 years time, you have somebody doing the project feasibility who's, in my opinion, nobody else can probably do better than her. So, from what I know. So, if you guys are listening, me and for those who are listening today, if they want to reach out to you, either through your channel or social media, want to get in touch with you, learn more about what you're doing in the Philippines, learn more about what you're doing with video marketing as well. What are some of the best ways that somebody who's listening now can reach you?
Through YouTube and
Mhm.
through my email address, ownpropertyphilippines@gmail.com as well.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we'll leave it in the show notes below, and make sure everybody get the chance to reach out, and make sure you guys are checking out her channel and subscribing to help her reach her goal as well. And just before we part ways with the audience today, do you have any closing thoughts, or anything else that you want to share with our listeners?
Okay. Hold on. I'm caught off guard. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
no problem.
yeah. Okay. So for my closing thoughts, I think what Kobe Sheen is doing here with his podcast is really great. So I hope you could also support him with his podcast. Share it with your friends. Stream it on Spotify, and especially when you're traveling in the US, make sure to listen to it while you're driving so you'll get to learn more. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you guys are listening. I didn't pay her to say that, and I didn't tell her to say that at all. That was completely you. So thank you for the plug and the promotion, and the support as well. So do what me and just told you to do, and if you got somebody that you really think can benefit from my podcast,
Yeah,
share it with
share
them.
it.
Share it. Exactly. So all right, guys, well, man, I know it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast, and
Thank
you
you.
know it's really great seeing your channel grow, and continue to see it grow in the future as well. So for you guys listening, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next show. Take care, guys.